Welcome to the Wildcard Weekend edition of On Top the Cage. I guess week 18 as we made it through all 256 games of the regular season. As always, to my left is my buddy Dan. I am Ken. It is Wednesday, our traditional shoot week, or shoot day, I guess. A little bit of unrest in the country, but that's not what the show is about today. It is 2021. Survived 2020. How was your New Year's?
Uneventful. Ate a bunch of good food, appetizer stuff New Year's Eve, and then I made that my traditional pork and noodles. Man, it was fantastic.
It was good. Yeah, this pork noodle sauerkraut traditional New Year's Day dish at the Steck's household. Is that correct?
Yep.
My friend Ronnie asked for the recipe. We send it to him. He'll have to let us know if we have a consensus that it's a great dish. I don't know.
It might take you once or not the first time. The second time you'll get better at it. It'll come out better.
There's some. I looked at the recipe. There's some brandy in it and some other things.
Oh yeah, you got to keep the whole thing moist. A little apple juice, a little brandy. Dump it in there, stir it up, put it back in the oven. Go keep drinking. It's awesome.
It's a work in progress, love type of thing, I guess.
Oh hell yeah!
Always uneventful here for New Year's Eve. We just hung out with the kids. We were in the basement a lot. It's a kind of a fun spot in the basement. We have lots of games to play. But we played some euchre with the kids. We played some pool, some other things. So yeah, it was pretty uneventful for the most part.
We played bullshit.
You did?
Fun card game, yeah.
With the family and things like that?
Yeah, once I got done cooking New Year's Eve and sat down, I won 3 in a row, baby. Everybody was pissed.
Playing for money?
No, we did not play for money.
You got to play for money. It always makes it more exciting. I cooked for Sunday for the Bear game against the Packers. Themed food. I made Chicago-style Italian beef sandwiches. They always come out tremendous. Portillo's has nothing on me. For the people in Chicago in that area, they know what Portillo's is. I also tried my hand at a Chicago-style deep dish pizza. It didn't come out as well, frankly. I made it, and then my wife went over to help her mother with her Christmas decorations. We were going to make it. It was out. It was in the fridge. It was back out. It was in the fridge. It finally came out. During Bear games, though, my diet is strictly liquid. So I didn't try it until
you're focused on the water.
Right. I didn't try it until like 9 o'clock. It wasn't. I learned I'm a little heavy-handed with peppers as well because I almost burnt my face off when I took a bite of it around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I don't know exactly what time it was, but it was probably a fail in regards to the deep dish pizza. The beef was fantastic though. So
hey, that'll happen when you're cooking.
It happens every once in a while.
That's why you have a garbage can.
That's right. You believe in New Year's resolutions? Any resolutions?
I gotta lose some belly, man.
Lose some weight?
Yeah, I don't know how, but
I'm gonna enter. There's another weight loss challenge at my office.
Hell, you just drop it off like it's nothing.
But they have my money because it got canceled. I was the runaway winner of it last time, and we just kind of rolled the money over. I have to enter again, but I don't know how I'm gonna win again because
you're gonna have to cut off a limb.
So I don't know if it's worth it for the $200 to $400 or whatever
When's the
it is.
weigh-in?
So the initial weigh-in is this Friday. So
you should go in with your backpack full of bricks.
Yeah, I'll have a handful of change in the pockets and everything else.
Some people you work with watch this, so they're gonna know that you're gonna have some bullshit up your sleeve.
They may.
Hey, is that a soup can in your pocket, Ken?
Right. Yeah, I've seen people cheat, man. I've seen it happen before. It gets competitive at times, which I guess is a good thing. Everybody's competitive. You got your decorations down? You take those down during
Hell
the
no. Well, some of them are down. My wife put some of them down. She wanted to go shopping on Saturday, and I wanted to watch the Browns game on Sunday, so we compromised and left the tree up.
There you go. We have 2 trees at this house. The normal tree is down, and my wife did the majority of all of it inside. I took the outside down. We still have our forest-like tree in the front room up.
How come it's not on? I noticed that when I was driving by.
Well, because it's January 6th.
So what? Turn it on. You wasted all that money putting the damn thing in there. It's only, what, 20 feet tall.
The good thing is
It's the biggest one in the neighborhood.
It is a forest-like tree, and it's quite an attraction. Actually, people drive by and they slow down, and our dogs go crazy. Like, why are those people slowing down? I don't like that type of thing. But it is kind of
get up and turn the lights on right now. We'll
wait
for you.
It's kind of a spectacle in the front. But the good thing about the tree, and I don't have to do anything with it, the forest-like tree, is because all that's on it is sand dollars from Hilton Head Island, where we've traditionally vacationed. And that's
I wouldn't
going
be
to lead me
saying
to
that
something else.
too loud.
So, yes, I know. It's like a $500 fine for each sand dollar you take out of the ocean. But
that's a big check.
in any event, my wife is not allowing me to touch the sand dollars because they're brittle. So I have no part in taking down the forest-like tree other than shearing it and then bringing it to the back property. So as far as my New Year's resolution, I do have one, actually. And we're going to have a kick-ass family vacation this year. During COVID season this year, we didn't even take a family vacation. My oldest son, or our oldest son, he graduates this year and he'll be in college. He's in the same grade as your son.
Yep.
And it may be the last one he goes on with us. I don't know how that shakes out. But we didn't do it last year, so we're going to do a banger vacation this year for sure. That's my New Year's resolution, to make sure that we have an awesome summer vacation. So, all right, housekeeping from last week. We got into an argument about the Baltimore game when they played
it was
Cincinnati.
an argument, but I was right.
Well, we were both right. It was as a complete mashup is what happened. I was correct in the fact that Baltimore played Cincinnati, and Cincinnati, Andy Dalton threw a pass down the seam. They scored a touchdown late. I was completely wrong about the Steelers watching that game.
Yeah, completely.
The Baltimore-Cincinnati game was the year before, and what happened, it put Buffalo into the playoffs. And
Just admit you were wrong.
I'm not. Well, it was a mashup.
I forgive you, Ken.
The cool thing, whatever. We'll talk. Bill's Mafia, they have tremendous fans. They promptly donated like roughly $450,000 to Andy Dalton's foundation when his pass led them to that comeback win, and it put Buffalo in the playoffs. But you were correct in regards to the game where the Steelers were watching on the big screen after the game. It was the Cleveland-Baltimore game where Cleveland ended up on the short end of the stick of that game. So that was the mashup mistake that we debated back and forth for quite a while. So, Dan, we gonna do another show next week? We'll have 4
If
games.
the Browns win, we'll do another show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not. So let's talk about this. It's been a great year. I appreciate everybody watching in the suggestion box and things like that. A lot of things are going to change. Dan and I have debated on certain things. One thing that's going to change, our logo back here is not going to be up there, I don't think, next year. What I'm going to try to do, and I need to take some classes and things like that, but we're going to try to put the helmets of each team up and maybe a check mark who Dan picks and I pick and things like that. The people who watch, it'll allow them to fast forward through, because I know it happens. I see the analytics on our YouTube channel and things like that, and the watch time being 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, some people just like this bullshit that we're talking about now, and they're like, oh, they're talking about football now, and they turn it off. So
there's plenty of bullshit throughout the whole show.
Wait, is Dan going to give me another recipe? You have like a mini cult following as well. We should probably have some merch. Multiple people talked about your line about cover up your cooties, and then in your silly rants with the cannon fire and people pooping in the streets of San Francisco. There's some merch opportunities out there. So we're also going to try to get on Spotify as well. I got an awesome Christmas present. It's right behind us. It's called the Echo Show. And it allows like video calling and things like that. Maybe we'll get a burner phone or something like that. We'll do it live next year possibly, where people can call in. We'll take calls.
Yeah, we'll take calls.
But it has to be a burner phone, because I can't have anybody having my real cell phone number and saying, hey, Ken, Venmo me $100 because I bet on your advice and you suck. I don't need 50 of those phone calls
phone every week.
Yeah, probably right. So we're going to try to do all those things and try to make it a lot better. I think that's it for, the intro stuff.
We didn't get to the beer yet. What the hell? I'm thirsty.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, I've been talking a lot already. The beer review this week comes from the Millersburg Brewing Company. It is called Nut House. It is a peanut butter porter. I like sweet in my drinks. In any event, it is 6.1% alcohol. It's a simple 12-ounce can. There's a lot of brown on it. I don't know about the presentation. I love peanut butter. You like peanut butter?
Yeah, peanut butter is good.
Peanut butter is awesome. I can taste the peanut butter.
Yeah, I can taste the peanut butter too. Kind of tastes like that peanut butter whiskey we had from Michigan that sucked.
That was horrible. That was ugly dog. But there's a couple of good peanut butter whiskeys out there. Old Smoky makes a great one. I think the peanut butter whiskey company that has the biggest market is called Screwball, Skrew Ball. It has like a bowl on it or something like that.
Good.
So
That is a good one.
it is a super good one. All right, let's talk about last week. We have a changing of the horns or the lights or whatever you want to say. Dan went 7-9. I went 9-7. We had 10 games different last week. Dan is readily sporting it. On the year, though, once again, 256 games all in. Congratulations, National Football League. I'm not sure exactly how they pulled this off. Dan went 129 wins, 120 losses, and 7 draws or ties on the year, plus 9. I went 120, 128, and 7 minus 8 on the year. It was a pretty crazy year in regards to this. The Dogs won games 55.7% of the time this year, which is a big number. It's the second highest number that they've had in the last 20 years. We talked in last week's show about how November was the biggest grossing month for the Nevada sports books ever. So it's been a crazy up and down season. The scoring was wild this year. A record amount of points scored in the National Football League this year. It was 12,692 points, shattered the previous record. I mean, there was a lot less penalties called this year. There was no fans. Obviously, maybe that.
No home field advantage.
Right. Things like that. I think that kind of led to all that. Further housekeeping, as far as vacancies go, after Black Monday in the National Football League, the Jets, Jags, Chargers, Lions, Falcons, Texans, all looking for new head coaches this year. Rightfully so. They had lousy seasons. All right, I think that's everything, man. We got. Well, it's an expanded wildcard weekend. Generally, we only get 4 games. We got 6 games with the expanded entries. Kansas City is the AFC champion. They are on bye. Green Bay is the NFC champion, or the 1 seed. They also have a bye. They will be on the board next week, I guess, as long as the Browns win, I suppose. Maybe I'll be out here by myself if the Bears win and the Browns lose.
Yeah, probably.
All right, new blood in the playoffs.
I'll be calling in.
All right, the video phone. Yeah, Dan's mug with his horns.
I have your real number.
You take those horns with you when you leave tonight.
No, they stay here.
All right.
You own them. I'm just borrowing them.
New blood in the playoffs. Welcome the Cleveland Football Browns. They have not entered the fray since 2002. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also in the tournament. They haven't been in since 2007. Let's start with the slate. Saturday's games. And they're all over the different networks.
I know, it's crazy.
The first game is on CBS at 1 p.m. That will be Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call for that game. The Indianapolis Colts, who are 11-5 and enter the tournament as a wild card, they go to play the AFC's champions Buffalo Bills. They are 13-3. The Bills are 6.5-point favorites. The over/under on this game is 51. Bills, they've just been playing great football.
They look awesome.
They
look really good.
They've been
sides, they're peaking at the right time, I think.
100%. They probably played the best football of any National Football League team the back half of the season, and that includes the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think they got a very easy draw in the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, that's a pretty sound football team. I mean, that's a tough team. They have a tough defense. They've been running the ball. Very well.
Wisconsin.
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. I mean, they got that running game going, and it's been consistent. This game's tough. I mean, they're in Buffalo. I don't know about the weather. I did not check my weather
should
app.
Be fine.
I mean, it's a big number of 51. I think they're kind
of in Pittsburgh. I think it's just supposed to be cold, be in the 30s. Actually, they might have some sun since it's an early game.
Maybe. I mean, the weather could be a factor in this game.
Going with the Bills.
You like them minus 6.5? I've been I don't know how I don't. I've been gushing about the Bills probably for the last 5-6 weeks. The Bills have won 6 straight games by double figures.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills.
I think this is going to be a very entertaining game, but I don't want to go against myself. I like the Bills minus 6.5 too. I think this could be a very good game, though, especially if the Colts can establish this run game against Buffalo.
Nah, Bills.
I mean, Josh Allen's been playing out of his mind. They are just on a roll, and they're playing with a ton of confidence. So I have a hard time not going with the Bills as well. I'm going to lay the 6.5. Dan and I are in agreement in the first game. So, all right, the second game on Saturday starts at 4:40 p.m. It'll be carried by Fox. Who are the Fox announcers? Oh, that's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on Fox. They will be on the call. The Rams enter as a wild card. The Seattle Seahawks did win the NFC West. They are the champs. The Rams finished the season at 10-6. The Seahawks finished at 12-4. The Seattle Seahawks are 4-point favorites. The over/under is really low in this game.
Yeah.
42.5. Do you remember when we were talking about how bad the Seattle defense was?
Yes.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
I mean, Jamal Adams got banged up in the last game, and there's a question whether or not he plays. I'm sure he's going to play. He's such a tough kid.
Oh, hell yeah. It's the playoffs. He's never been in the playoffs. He was with the Jets. Get the hell out of here. He's playing in this game.
No, I mean, he's going to play. He'll smoke a cigar on the wrong end from before the game starts. He's ready to go, pump himself up. I don't know what happens there. But how about this? We were bashing the Seattle defense all year. They have not given up more than 20 points since week 11.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And you mentioned
That
Carlos
was Dunlap.
Yeah,
Changed
Dunlap.
everything.
Jamal Adams obviously has been a huge part of this. The Rams, their offense is sputtering, and the biggest question is Jared Goff. Is Goff going to play, or is that AAF player John Wolford going to be the quarterback, who won his first start against the Arizona Cardinals? Shoving my Bears into the playoffs, and we'll talk about the Bears quite a bit later. But, I mean, it's a fractured thumb on his throwing hand. It's not like a leg injury.
Yeah, exactly. Or a fractured thumb on his other hand. Come on. I'm going with the Seahawks on this.
You are? I mean,
Yeah.
The defense has to show big in this game for the Rams. I mean, this is a rubber match. They obviously being in the same division, have played twice. Each team won at home. Seahawks are -4. I mean, the number is so low on the over/under at 42.5. I'm taking the points. I'm taking the points with the Rams. I think it may be a field goal game. They're just not going to – I mean, I'm looking at this game as a 2017 game, 24-20 game, 24-21 game, something like this.
I should stop these from blinking because you're going to have to wear them next week. Make sure the batteries –
That's only one difference so far. We'll see how it shakes out.
More.
There will be certainly more. There'll be certainly more. All right, we're in disagreement on that game. I'm on the Rams. Dan's on the Seahawks. All right, the nightcap on Saturday is at 8:15. It's on NBC. There will be Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth on that call. I love Chris Collinsworth.
He's kind of a weenie.
He's like my favorite NFL announcer. He's the right. He's a former player. He's the right amount of intelligence and like hokiness. I like his hokiness.
Yeah, that's called a lot of tool bag.
Have you seen his son do the?
Yes, I've seen him.
He sounds exactly the same.
He does.
That's crazy. So he'll have Chris's job when that stops at some point in time. All right, the Bucks. They enter as a wild card as well.
Wait a minute. Can we? What that Washington-Philadelphia game? Get the hell out of here.
You want to talk about it now? Because I want to talk about it too. That pisses me off.
I could not. Doug Peterson, his excuse for what he did was I could chug a can of alphabet soup and shit out a better response than he gave.
It's complete bullshit. I completely agree with you. It messed with the integrity of the National Football League.
I don't even care. It just messed with your team. I mean, you're an asshole.
He alienated his players is what Dan's saying too. I mean, there were players coming up to him going, what the hell are we doing? I mean, it started in the third quarter when Philadelphia had a 4th and goal at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were down 17-14.
Kick the field goal.
Traditionally kick the field goal, right? As opposed to running a non-disguised quarterback run out to the right. I mean, it was very bland. There was no eye candy in regards to moving people around. There was nothing. He clearly didn't want to score that touchdown. And then they bring in Nate Sudfeld. This pisses me off. You can hear the animation in my voice. I mean, it disrespected the game. And, I hear the argument that the Giants fans crying, win more games. I get that argument. But I also heard arguments like, how is it different from what the Steelers did? It's completely different from what the Steelers did. I mean, the Steelers,
totally.
It's strategy. They're playing the following week, and they know they're playing the following week.
It's totally
different. They didn't get a bye week.
Argument.
What Philadelphia did was tank. And sometimes you'll see front offices tank. You never see players tank. You never see head coaches tank. Doug Peterson tanked this game.
Yeah, that's a disgrace.
He pissed off all of his players.
To anybody that's coached football ever.
I'm glad we didn't talk about this before we went on set, but Dan and I are on the same wavelength in regards to that. I love the National Football League. That was bullshit. Complete bullshit in my mind. Not even you won the bet, Washington. Had nothing to do with the bet. I was on Philadelphia. I got the short end of it. But he screwed with the integrity of the National Football League. I don't know if Goodell's going to get involved or not, but I would love to see them get fined. They put that game on Sunday Night Football, national, television, and then that's what they did.
Yeah.
We went on a rant for this a long time. Recap. All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they enter as a wild card.
Uh-oh. Now I got to see
That's
glasses.
better.
I like this look.
I got to take this in for a bit.
I can see it.
I'm going to enjoy it.
It's stuck on my glasses. I can still see.
Oh, my God. I don't know. I like it better that way. All right. The Washington football team is in. We don't know if it was because Philadelphia tanked or not, but they're in. They are a 7-9 football team. The Bucks, as a wild card, they are the winners of the NFC East. The Tampa Bay Bucks are the wild card. The Bucks are 8-point favorites in this game. The over/under is 45. Tampa, their offense has gotten cranked up the last few weeks.
Now.
Mike Evans went down with what looked like a bad injury, but it looks like he's playing as well. They got their full complement of receivers, which is really good. I mean, you're talking about Chris Godwin. You're talking about Mike Evans. Antonio Brown's really got involved lately in regards to that offense. I know you're not a fan. I get it.
No, he's a tool.
Gronkowski, they have a lot of weapons. The Washington football team, they are in. We talked about how they got in already. I mean, they match up pretty well. Their defense is really good.
Washington's defense is good. I'm worried about their offense, though. If Alex Smith, I'm happy that he made it to the playoffs. But, I saw something about platooning. I don't know if he's
Tyler Heineke, that other guy who came in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just they made it, and I think that's the big high. They got in, but They still blow. I mean, come on.
Their defense is good. Their offense is not good.
Taking the Bucks.
Did you see Chase Young when he was skipping off the field in euphoria after his, rookie season after they make the playoffs? We want Tom. We want Tom Brady.
Dude's a freak. Well, you're going to get him.
That's right. And Bruce Arians said, get what you ask for.
Yeah.
How about this little fun nugget, though? The last 7-win team to enter the playoffs and win a game was the Carolina Panthers in 2014.
And they went to
Well, they were coached by Ron Rivera,
Yeah.
who's the head coach of the Washington football. And they beat the Arizona Cardinals, who were coached by Bruce Arians, who is the coach of the Arizona Cardinals now. I think they match up well enough. The over-under in this game is 45. They're not expecting a ton of points. I'm taking the points with the Washington football team. Here's the thing. Tom Brady's not mobile. Chase Young knows where he's going to be in the pocket. It's not like he's going to be out here and out there. They know where the target zone is to go when you rush the quarterback. So I think that helps them a little bit. I like the Washington football team to get out of this number. I don't think they're going to win the game, but I think it's a closer game than this. I think it's 3-4-6 type situation, or maybe even a touchdown. I like the Washington football team to get out of the number. All right, we're on to Sunday. Another great slate of games. This is a fun game. The first game is on ABC at 1 p.m. I have no idea who the ABC announcers will be for this game.
That's got to be the Monday night crew.
Well,
ESPN
owns
Steve
ABC,
Levy.
or ABC owns one of the two.
Those
guys, Booger McFarland or something. I know. It's Brian Greasy and Louis Riddick.
Yeah, that's who that'll be.
And Riddick's up for all kinds of general manager jobs and things like that. But the Ravens. The Ravens enter this. They are a wild card as well. They are -3 going to play the AFC South champs, the Tennessee Titans. The over-under on this game is a whopping 55 points. They're expecting a ton of points in this game. Talk about the Ravens first. They are winners of 5 straight games. They are also losers of 3 straight postseason games, 2 of them with Lamar Jackson. they look pretty good after that midseason slumber and things like that. It's starting with that game against your Browns.
Yeah.
And they've looked pretty good since then. What do you think about this game?
I don't know.
Well, let's talk about this. These two teams played Week 11. Do you remember the game? I remember the game because I remember texting you because it was a big thing for Ravens to lose and help your Browns.
Yes.
The game went into overtime. It was in Baltimore. Derrick Henry finished it in overtime with like a 45-yard run where he got loose into the second level of the defense. And when he gets in the second level of the defense, he generally just trucks people, and that's the end of the game. And that's exactly what happened in Baltimore Week 11. Baltimore's offense is really hot. Lamar Jackson's never won a playoff football game. He's had 2 chances. We remember the game they got knocked out last year. It was the Titans, and it was Derrick Henry running all over the top of them. So, my problem with the Titans, though, their
defense
is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. With the Titans, the formula for the Titans to win this game is it's Derrick Henry. It's keep the offense on the field, sustain long drives.
Well, if you can keep him in the pocket, too, Lamar in the pocket. But he's been running more.
He has. Their offense is hot right now, the Baltimore offense. Tennessee's going to have to stay on the field on offense and have like 7-8 minute drives, and hopefully they end in touchdowns as opposed to field goals. I think this game's going to be an absolute shootout, though. I really do. The Ravens are -3 against the Titans. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens to exact some revenge.
I'm going with the Titans. Screw the Ratbirds.
Fair enough.
Screw him.
I hear you.
Lamar ain't going to do it in the playoffs.
I think
the trend continues. He looks great in the regular season.
I think this is the most intriguing game out of all of them. This Ravens Titans game. I really do. I think it's going to be really entertaining. Obviously, Vegas thinks there's going to be a lot of points put up at 55. I might even play the over on this game. I like the Ravens to win this game at the end, like I said, get their revenge. All right, the next game up. It is my Chicago Football Bears. It is on CBS at 4:40, but also Amazon Prime and Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon?
What the hell is that? I know. What are we doing here? It's literally on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon?
I think Mickey and Minnie Mouse are on the call on Nickelodeon. It will be Nance and Romo on the call on CBS. No, they are. Seriously, it's on Nickelodeon.
Why?
I don't know. CBS owns it, but I have no idea why they're doing that. Mickey and Minnie Mouse are not on the call. I don't know who's on the call at Nickelodeon. What's going to happen
Maybe
here?
it's a DirecTV pissing contest with someone.
It's not. CBS owns or Viacom or whatever it is owns both of these channels.
Somebody might not have their local CBS affiliate and they're getting boned.
It could be, but I don't get this at all. I don't know. Does the referee, is he wearing like a SpongeBob head? Does the losing coach get slimed? What happens in this game? What are we doing here?
Probably wearing a cheese head.
What are we? Oh, Jesus. All right, interlude. So last week, the Browns played a 1 o'clock game. My Bears played a very important game against the Packers at 4:25. I get a text from Dan with a picture of him wearing a Green Bay Packers t-shirt and one of those stupid ass cheese blocks on the Swiss cheese blocks on his head. Why the hell do you have that was, my thing, after I wrote, oh my God, are you kidding me with this bullshit, type of thing. And I told him I have a cheese grater over here and things like that, but tell us why you have that apparel, if you will.
Oh, well, my son was a huge Packers fan, so that's where the cheese head came from. When he was little, because the Browns blow. So I didn't mind, but the reason I have the Packers t-shirt is because the one year they played the Steelers in the Super Bowl, and there was no way in hell I was rooting for the Steelers. So I went and got myself a Packers t-shirt.
Oh, my goodness.
So I had to dig it out of the bottom of my drawer because I don't think I've worn it since.
I hear it. Good. Keep it in the closet. There was a scowl on my face as I was looking at my phone.
Hysterical.
All right.
I had to call my brother that lives in Chicago, too.
You sent that to him?
I FaceTimed him.
Did you get the middle finger back? What do you got?
No, they were like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Anyway, all right, off track a little bit here. Chicago Bears, who did back into the playoffs. They are a wild card entry into the tournament. They do go play the NFC South champs, the New Orleans Saints. It is the biggest line on the board. The Saints are favored by 10.5 points in this game. The over-under is 47. These two teams played in Week 8, and it was in Soldier Field in Chicago. Nick Foles was the quarterback at the time. The Bears' offense sucked at the time. Their defense was much better. It's kind of flipped. It was a 26-23 final in overtime. The Saints won that game. So there's some history here with these teams. And that was the game where Javon Wims, the Bears wide receiver, made his amateur boxing debut.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
He's going back to New Orleans. We'll see what happens with that. He is on the Bear roster. He is up this week. There's injuries for the Bears. Let's talk about the Bears first. That's fine. First of all, I want to give a shout out to, you gave out birthday shout outs last week. Mm-hmm. I want to give out a shout out to sweet Virginia Hallis McCaskey, who turned 98 years old yesterday.
Hell.
She is the sole owner of the Chicago Football Bears. I love sweet Virginia. I hope she hangs on for a few more years. It would be an awesome birthday present. Maybe she could be in Club Dub if the Bears find a way to win this game.
98. Jeez.
But also because I don't like her son, Michael McCaskey, who's involved in the day-to-day operations with the Chicago Bears. I think he's somewhat a buffoon, so hopefully sweet Virginia holds on. Shout out to her. All right, we mentioned the Bears back in this playoffs. They did lose to the Green Bay Packers. The final was 35-16. The game was a lot closer than that, though. The Bears gave up a couple touchdowns late. They were actually down 21-16 and were a fourth and a half a yard and didn't make it at the just outside of the Packer red zone. But it was a lot closer game. The Bears are playing better on offense. The defense has become a little bit leaky. We'll talk about the Saints before we pick this game. They came off a pretty impressive win last week against Carolina. It was a blowout. It was like 33-6. It's not, but
you're missing your whole backfield. So
yeah, Kamara's going to be back, and
is
Murray.
He back?
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
So he didn't test positive.
I think no. I think it was a contact. Well, I think he did have COVID, and then the rest of the backfield went out because he has no symptoms, and all he's got to do is by Sunday or Saturday he's got to test negative or something like it a couple of days in a row. He's back. The whole show's back. I think Michael Thomas is back. Michael Thomas hasn't played since the middle of the season, if that. So they get a lot of their weaponry back. It seemed like Drew Brees got kind of his footing back. I mean, he had a pretty good performance in Carolina. Like you said, it's not that tough of a test, if you will. But, he's coming back after that brutal chest injury for a middle-aged man at 41 years old. So, they're playing on this fast track in New Orleans on the turf as opposed to the beat-down, natural turf in Soldier Field. Saints are minus 10.5. What do you think?
Bears.
I like the Bears to stay on this number as well. They're playing with house money here. Yep. I mean, if you ask me, like I said, they backed into the playoffs. They got nothing to lose here. Nothing to lose at all. The defense has to be better. I mentioned, in the Washington-Tampa game that they're going to know where Tom Brady is. The same situation with the Bears. They need to get pressure on. They know where Drew Brees is going to be. He's going to be in the pocket. He's not going to be scrambling out to the right or the left. He's going to be right there. He's a precision passer. And hopefully he doesn't carve them up. There's injuries on the Bears as well from the Packer game. In my opinion, their best defensive player, certainly this year, Roquan Smith, went down with an elbow injury. It looks unlikely that he's going to play. That's going to hurt them tremendously in the middle of the field. People probably expecting me to say Khalil Mack. It's not. It's not been Khalil Mack this year. It's been Roquan Smith. Jalen Johnson,
that hurts.
Their rookie cornerback. I think he is going to come back. They're going to need him. There's quite a bit of weaponry on the Saints. Like I said, I'd like the Bears in this game getting under this number. I don't know if they're going to win the game. It'd be an awesome birthday present for sweet Virginia. But I like them under the number as well. So before we get to the last game here, let's recap here where we're at. We are in agreement on the first game, disagreement on the second, third. You take the Titans or the Ravens?
Titans. You took the Ravens.
3 different. All right. We got 2 in agreement, 3 in disagreement. All right. We are on the very last game on Sunday night. By the way, we are going to do the national championship game as well after this Browns-Steelers game. It is on NBC at 8:15 p.m. on Sunday. Once again, I think Al Michaels and Chris Collins will be on the call. Oh, it's Tirico and
Dungy.
who do the Notre Dame football games on NBC. So is that right?
That's what
I didn't know if they were. I mean, Buffalo. I mean, traveling from Buffalo to Pittsburgh isn't very damn far. They couldn't. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth couldn't do that.
Traveling from.
Oh wait, no. It'd be Washington. They did came to Washington.
Still not that far.
No, it's probably a 4-hour drive by car from Washington to Pittsburgh, or from DC to Pittsburgh. Anyway, all right. The Browns, 11-5, a great record, great season for the local Cleveland Browns fans. I'm super happy for all of you guys. They go to play their arch nemesis in Heinz Field. The Steelers did win the division at 12-4. They are the AFC North champs. Obviously, we know the Steelers reeled off 11 in a row, went 1-4 down the stretch. They played just last week.
Yeah.
But the Browns get the varsity team this week for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever friggin' heard, this varsity JV Steelers bullshit. You're just like the national media honks. They play on the Steelers. They don't have JV players over there. It's not like friggin' Philadelphia putting in a JV quarterback. That kid was JV. Those kids, get out of here. That's stupid. When the varsity was in, they lost to the Bengals and the Redskins. Screw your argument. I'm going with the Browns. Fuck the Steelers.
Dan's defending his team.
They all have COVID. The coach isn't playing. Joel Batonio's out. Hey, screw it. You want to put Cam Hayward down there where the guard's missing? Go ahead, because that screws up your defense. That's not how you play. Cam Hayward shouldn't be over the guard. I'm going with the Browns.
The Steelers are -6 in this game. The over-under is 47.5. Dan mentioned the COVID situation. How big of a deal is that Stefanski's not going to be the head coach?
No, it's not a big deal.
It's not?
No.
I guarantee.
He's still the head. He's still coaching. He can't be there. And the stupid rule that he can't have communications is dumb.
I think the mid-game adjustments are going to hurt that Stefanski's in there. He's probably going to script almost the entire first quarter of plays for the offense. Would be my guess.
They're all going to beat their ass.
You know what I hate, though, is Joe Batonio. What position does he play?
Left guard.
Joe Batonio is the longest tenured Cleveland Brown out there. He endured the 1-15 season. He endured the 0-16 season. He's never been to a playoff game, and COVID has knocked him out of his game. I hate it. I hope they advance. Steelers haven't won a game in Heinz Field since 2003. It's on the board, 2003.
A playoff game?
They haven't won a game in Heinz Field since 2003.
Who?
The
Cleveland
Browns. Yeah.
Oh, you said the Steelers. I'm like, what?
Oh, did I misspoke? Yeah. The Cleveland Browns have not won a game in Heinz Field since 2003. You think they're going to win the game? You like them outright?
Yeah. Hell yeah, I do. All this adversity, screw it. I'm taking the Browns.
I hear you. I mean,
they're in here. They hadn't been here for 18 years. Did you think I was going to pick the Steelers?
I know you're not going to pick the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers showed well with their backups last week for the most part.
We played vanilla. If you watched the Browns, that was so vanilla. Did you see Nick Chubb in the second half? No. Didn't even play.
Dude, they needed to win the game to get it. Well,
we were winning.
They had to worry.
We won by 2.
They had to worry about Indianapolis.
If we win by 2 or if we win by 20. It's the same damn thing. We're in.
I hear.
We're in and we're coming to kick your ass.
I like it. I mean, I think it's going to come down to, can Ben beat this zone defense with his underneath throws?
No, we're going to pressure the shit out of him. His quick passes better get out quicker.
And the Browns generally run a zone defense in the middle and things. They're going to clog the middle, the intermediate routes and the short routes at the 5 to 10 yards. And you mentioned earlier you think Ben has a difficult time throwing the deep ball with his leg or whatever the hell you were mentioning the other week. I agree. I like the Browns to stay under this number of 6. I mean, it would be awesome for them to win the game outright. I like them to stay on this number with that running game. Hopefully they just pound the ball on the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers have a very good defense. They do. There's no two ways about that. I mean, it's their calling card. But I like the Browns as well under the number of 6.
Varsity defense lost to the Bengals and the Redskins.
There's a lot on the line here. Hopefully we have it might be just me when the Bears win next week if the Browns lose, but it wouldn't be on the Echo show. It wouldn't be the same show without Dana's cult following of fans. That is the entire Wildcard weekend. We do have an awesome national championship game in college football to talk about, though. By the way, last week we went 2-0 on our college football picks, taking the points in both games.
Yes.
With the Notre Dame Fighting Irish getting on that 20 number And the Buckeyes winning the game outright, getting a little bit over a touchdown, I believe, against Clemson, if I recall correctly. Hopefully this game gets played. There's some COVID concern on the OSU football team right now. The Alabama Crimson Tide, they are the 1 going in the tournament. The Bucks were the 3. The Bama is favored by 7.5 a game, 7.5 in this game. A staggering over/under on this game of 75.5 points.
Wow.
This game is supposed to start at 8 p.m. on ESPN. It doesn't start at 8 p.m. It starts like at 8:40.
Yeah.
The game lasts forever because there's like a 30 or 40 minute halftime when like challenged kids try to throw a ball through a hoop for Dr. Pepper or something like this. I don't know. Like all kinds of shenanigans go on. Maybe that won't go on. Maybe shorter. But these games usually end like at 12:30 or 1 in the morning. Like crazy. That's a tough turnaround for our fans in Northeast Ohio who have to stay up very late to watch the Browns do the game and then turn around and do the same thing. I mean,
we're on it, baby. We can handle it.
Most of us have jobby jobs. Let's talk about you want to talk about Bama or the Bucks first?
I'll tell you, honestly, Alabama, watching that, throughout the year I would turn them on and they were usually blowing somebody out, so I never really watched, but damn, their offense is good. I'm really so glad that Devontae Smith won the Heisman because he is by far the best college football athlete in the country. I mean, he's a huge difference maker for that team. He's
100% deserving, and it's rare that you see anybody but a quarterback win that award. And
I'm glad it was not a quarterback because I don't think there was a quarterback worthy of it this year.
I mean, Notre Dame lost that game 31-14. They held Bama to their lowest point total of the year of 31. Right. I mean, that's what we're talking about with this offense, how good it is. They're talking about Jalen Waddle coming back, who hasn't played since like the very beginning of the season, who's another star receiver. I mean, I think he's going to be he's a first-round draft pick next year. I mean, Devontae Smith, I think, goes ahead of him, the Heisman Trophy one we just spoke about. But, yeah, and Najee Harris, I mean, they have all kinds of parts on offense. So we'll talk about that. But let's talk about that performance from the Ohio State Buckeyes last weekend.
I loved it. I'm a little bit tired of hearing Dabo Swinney in his mouth, and he's gotten a little arrogant, and I love that Ohio State just freaking thumped them. I mean, thumped them.
100% bell to bell, wire to wire, whatever you want to say. They absolutely had control of that game throughout. They kicked their tails. I mean, that's the best I've seen Justin Fields play forever. That was an unbelievable performance. And I talked about Justin Fields and him being slow at processing the reads and the field and things like that. He was decisive. He was accurate. Yep. I tell you what, Justin Fields, you made a shit pot full of money with that game alone. And we'll see if you can duplicate it because, I mean,
they're going to have to duplicate it. You're going to have to score to beat Alabama.
There's no way you fall out of the top 5 picks right now with that performance alone. How about that hit he took? Holy crap.
Yeah, that illegal hit, that spearing. I mean, you haven't been able to do that forever in the National or any football league.
You're right. It was 100% spearing. I hate the penalty in college. I hate how penalizing the penalty is in college football, how you're ejected, and then depending on what half it is, you got to miss another half game. I mean, that kid was making a football play. I mean, it was 100% spearing. It was 100% the right call by the rule. I mean, it's not like he stood over Justin Fields and said, yeah, I just freaking laid your kidney out on the turf.
I mean, take away the targeting rule, he still could have been ejected.
No,
ejection, that was always an option for an official.
It was the right call. He got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, he did. He should have. Dirty play.
Oh, I don't know if he's a dirty. I mean, he's been ejected before.
He got ejected in the national championship game last year.
Yes, you're right.
Come on, you got a history. Vontez Burfict. Come on.
That's not the same.
But we don't get out of here.
We don't disagree though, do we? That the rule in college football about kicking a player out of the game and then suspending them for the following game or a half of the game or whatever it is too penalizing? Do we disagree? It's too penalizing. I mean,
you want to change the culture. Change it. It's the rule for everybody.
He led with his head. He didn't try to do that. He didn't stand over top of Justin Fields. I mean, I don't like it. You know what disturbs me though? What disturbed me was Justin Fields went into the blue tent. They shot him up with 2 injections and said, "Go get him, champ." I mean, he after the game, he's like, "What did they tell you was your injury?" They didn't tell me anything. They gave me 2 injections. I went back out there. I felt pretty good. Whoa. I mean, that's a little disturbing to me. I mean, Yikes. I mean, that was a rough hit. We saw him get
What do you
bent
think
over.
happens in the Bears tent?
So, I mean, that's a little disturbing
We're
to
gonna
me.
massage this for you, and
I
you
mean,
can go back.
He's a 20-year-old kid. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a little bit disturbing to me, but he was back out there. I mean, I haven't heard anything.
What the hell? You just said he's a top 5 pick in the NFL
He
draft.
100% is. I mean, he solidified it 100% with that performance against Clemson. And if he can back it up, with an awesome performance like he did against Clemson, against Bama, there might be a question with Trevor Lawrence. I don't think so. I really don't think so. But in some people's minds, in some GM's minds, and all it really matters is whoever is going to be the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars' mind. I mean, maybe it changes it. I don't think so. I think Trevor Lawrence is 100% the number 1 pick in the draft. We talked about this for a long time. The Bucs played tremendous. They're going to win this game? They're going to stay with this team?
Yeah,
What's going to happen?
I don't know. 7.5. Ugh. I'm from Ohio. I'm taking the Buckeyes.
I want to. I'm
not gambling. I'm taking the Buckeyes.
I want to. I'm not. It's my obligation to the people who watch this show to give my thoughts in regards to the point spread and who's going to cover it. I would love to see the Buckeyes win this game outright for the people in our area. I'm going with the Bama Crimson Tide minus 7.5. That is everything. That is everything for the week. I tried to make it as long as possible. We got 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
My executive producer's not happy about that.
A lot of bullshit at the beginning.
My 12-year-old came out and said, like, wait, you only got 7 games to pick this? You'll only be 20 minutes. I'm like, Ethan, I got something for you. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I think we'll probably be back, win or lose, next week. It probably will be our last show.
I got nothing to do on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, really, you get to come over here and hang out and drink beer with your buddy. So that's it. That's the Wildcard Weekend edition of On Top of the Case. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.